Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. We are back in Farm Sim 22, Angel Mountain map. Let's get back to it. I'm just picking up our last load of cows. I brought over a load of the little Holsteins to our dairy cow barn, and I brought a load of the Angus over to our kind of beefer cow barn. Now we just want to get some of these mature Holsteins. Let's get a full load of these guys. Get these guys loaded up and back to the farm. If you look at the top right of the screen, look at our bank balance, 7.6 million. So I've obviously been doing a lot of selling since the last episode. Our greenhouses got to, and our orchards got to where we had about 200,000 liters of almost every product. So I sold off a bunch of that. We got a few more loads to take this episode so we can, I don't think we're going to get to 8 million, but we'll get a little more cash in the bank. And then, yeah, I sold a bunch of oxygen and hydrogen, sold some diesel, sold molasses, pretty much everything you can think of. We do have a load of wheelchairs and walkers we could take. That would probably be good for another maybe 150 grand if we wanted to sell those. Those are sitting over at the old man's mill. I'm going to try and hold off and not sell those, see if we can start putting that those two products into storage and work towards the 10 million liter threshold for both of those. This episode, once we get these cows back to our cow barn, and we need to pay off some debt. But this episode, the main focus, what we've been waiting on for a long time, or what I've been waiting on for a long time, is getting our vineyards established. So we have a ton of cash to do that. All the land that we have put aside for doing vineyards is prepped and ready to go. So that's going to be the first thing we go do. And then once we do that, we're going to have a fair amount of field work to do. I think it's basically going to be subsoiling and fertilizing. But I'm predicting we're going to have lots and lots of vineyards. We'll see how much we can get with the cash we have. I'm hoping we have a ton of leftover cash. We talked last episode about a couple of the ideas I had for that other cash. One is getting into the stone processing. There's several production lines we can open up if we get into that. And then also talked about getting 4 more greenhouses going right here at the main kind of farm area. But we got to buy some land to place those on. So I think both of those are going to cost a little bit under $1 million each to get into. But we'll see. We'll see how much cash we have left after we do the vineyards. That's the main focus. Let's get these guys moved in. And then while we're here, let me just go pay off 20 grand. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so those two things are taken care of. And then we'll get to selling some goods. But yeah, we want to get the vineyards going because they take a long time to grow. We're going to need lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of grapes, I think, in this playthrough. We've got grape juice, there's wine, there's raisins, there's different products that require raisins. I think there's like granola bars or something that take raisins. Cereal might need raisins. If I'm not mistaken, there was 7 or 8 different product lines that used grapes in some form, whether the grapes themselves or raisins. I'd like to get that going. Let's get this guy hooked up. The products we need to sell, if we take a look at our production lines, what's left? Apiaries we emptied out. And we bought 2 more, I think it was last episode, so those are starting to accumulate product. Furniture's getting kind of high. This is so slow to produce. 2,400 cycles a month. We do get 150 per cycle. But man, it's slow to produce. I think we're just going to store that furniture for the 10 million liter objective. I don't think we're going to sell that. It just takes too long to produce. Bananas and cherries are still not where we need them to be. 120,000. We'll see. Maybe we'll sell half of these and store half. Greenhouses are pretty much emptied out. And so are our orchards. The only one left is greenhouse 4. And it's got a mix of products here. We've got 3 that are kind of ready to go. The mustard, the pineapple, and the black pepper. So that's what we're going to sell. Not much going on with Mammoth Mill. We're burning through this iron ore really fast. I did top off the coal in between episodes. Also saved up some salt towards our 10 million liter objective. Not too much going on here. Steel we typically store, so we don't need to sell that. Same thing with nails. What else can I show you? Yeah, here's our walkers and wheelchairs. Those are up to 200 grand liters. We could sell those if we come up short. Otherwise, I'm going to store them. And then our orchards are empty. And I sold hydrogen and oxygen. Looks like we have a little more we could sell if we come up short on cash. That's about it. So let's get over to Greenhouse 4 and sell their remaining 3 products and see where we end up on our bank balance. It's early morning here, January 3rd. We've got a whole nother day before the month ticks over. All of our crop fields are still at least one or two stages away from maturing, so we don't have any real field work to do on those. Our clover field is the last one that we harvested. That I believe is still in good shape. Fully fertilized. It's just we just have to wait for it to mature. All right, let's get to set my auto load here. I'm gonna run next door and close the doors on this greenhouse. This one I just emptied out. And let's pick a product to sell out of this one, Greenhouse 4. Black pepper, that'll do. Let's see where that guy is gonna sell. Not sure. Black pepper, not even sure where that's at. Here we go. Black pepper looks like it's gonna sell at the embassy. That's a bit of a drive. Is there anything at the embassy we could be picking up on the way back? I mean, at the refinery, since that's kind of near the embassy. Just take a look. Ooh, we got a load of plastic. We could go, maybe we'll pick up plastic while we're out there and sell that too. Typically, we sell that over at the oil press. So we'll probably, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, this would be a bit of a trek. I'm gonna head over to the embassy, sell this, and then pick up plastic, and then head over to the oil press. Here we go. All right, wow, almost 100,000 for that black pepper. That's pretty good. Let's go get our plastic from the refinery and we'll take that down to the oil press. That might be good for yet another 100 grand. But there's a chance we could hit 8 million. That would be amazing. Let's get on it. Another almost 100 grand for plastic. Make sure this is empty. I'm going to hit I to empty the rest of the pallet. And then I think what I'm going to do, let's go over to Mammoth Mill. I'm going to pick up a load of steel since we're heading back to the main farm. And we'll just put that steel into storage. All right, that's steel into storage. We don't get a very good price for steel. That's one of the reasons I'm just putting it into storage. See if we can get our 10 million liters saved up. Let's head back to Greenhouse 4. There's 2 more products to grab. We're at 7.8 million. Don't think we're going to... Well, we'll see what these products sell for. But I don't think they're going to sell for more than 100 grand each. So we may not hit 8 million. And 92,000 for that, for the mustard. Oh man, 90,000 for that. We are so close, 18,000 away. Let's go get one more load. I think on the way back I'm going to pick up wheelchairs and put those into storage. We've been selling those, but I kind of want to start saving those, so let's do it. All right, one last load of produce should put us over 8 million. Let's just do it to do it. Make sure my auto load is on here and my pallets show is empty. They do. And we can pick just about anything here. I think will put us over. Let's do coffee. Take full pallets, 44 of them. And let's see where coffee sells. Looks like coffee's kind of low, huh? Coffee at the supermarket. Let's do it. Yeah, that's the best price. 360. Yeah, it's not a high ticket item, is it? But it will put us over. That should be enough. There it is. Awesome. 63,000. That puts us at 8,046,000. Pretty darn good. I'm going to go park this truck over where we have all the trailers. And then we will get to placing some vineyards down. That is awesome. All right, I'm just going to park our truck here and let's tab over to one of the areas where we want to do the orchards. I think we have a small, here it is. Small tractor. So let's look at the little mini map and see where we're at. We are right below field 26, I believe. And so we want grapes there. We want grapes above 22 and above 24. And then over on that side, I think we may put olives. If we have cash, we might do it this episode. But let's get to placing olives. I want a fair amount of room between the field and where the olives start so we can drive through. And so our equipment doesn't get in the way. Like if we have the rollers or something, I just want to make sure we're not real cramped in. So let's get to it. Oh, there is a tractor here too for sale. We'll keep an eye on this. 100 grand. It's the max horsepower on it is 280. Kind of like to get at 300, but it's not a bad price for, I think as it comes, it's 225, right? Yeah, 225 horsepower as it comes for 97,000. Not bad. We may get this if it doesn't slip by. I don't think we need to worry about manure spreaders or slurry spreaders just yet. We'll see. Anyway, all right, back to it. Let's go here. Construction, production, orchards, and grapes is what we are most interested in right now. Here's our grapevine. Want to be somewhere over here. Now this is going to be almost impossible to get straight because I'm going to run super duper long lines of grapevines. And let's start a little further out. How about right here, and I'm going to come all the way back. Let's see if I can use the screen as a guide. See the tab that says buildings below? I'm going to try and line that up with the edge of the field somehow. If it looks fairly straight, I go straight back. And I try and line the corner of that tab. Maybe we'll end up with something straight, maybe not. Looks like it's not going to be straight. Oh man, I'm not sure how to do it where we can get it straight. All right, here we go. Let's try again. This is really hard to try to come up with a technique to go straight. Let's try. Boom. There's our line. Not perfect, but that's the start. Let's get more of these down. How much did that cost us? 100,000. Okay. 100,000 for that first one. Now these should all be just easy to do. Relatively easy to do. I suppose it goes faster the further I'm zoomed out. We're going to need brakes in these vines in order to get our equipment out. We'll put those in later when we do the harvest. I'd like them to be as long as they can be before the harvester's tank is full. And then we'll have to delete some of this out. Okay, that's as close as I can get. Boom, another 107,000. Yeah, we're not perfectly straight, but that's actually pretty good. You can see how these things cost a bunch of money. It's good we have the cash we have. This side, we're going to start cheating in a little bit. Maybe we can get a little further out. All right, that's about $5.5 million worth of grapevines. I think I'm going to stop it there. I thought the money that we have would go quite a bit further. But we have a ton of grapevines here. Let's see what they look like on the map. All right, there's our new grape vineyard here. Huge vineyard. It's in the growing stage. Let's just see what it says for what we need to do. Map's loading. All right, needs plowing. And it probably needs fertilizing too. I don't think weeds are a thing with these. But let's hook up the subsoiler and we'll see if we'll do a little bit of field work here. My equipment's a little jumbled. In fact, I might get out and move it by hand. I think this is the one we want. First, I believe. Right? TMC can sail at TPN 140. Let me just check, make sure that's the right thing. Nope. I think we need this guy first, this subsoiler. So it looks like it's the other one. That must be the mulcher. Let's hook up to this guy. Yeah, this is the guy I think we need. Let's do a little bit of this work. I'm obviously not going to do all of this on camera, but we'll do a little bit. And I think we have to start on this side right here. And again, later on, once we know how much our harvester holds, I'll cut holes through this vineyard. I know it kind of is a little wasteful, but I'm just not sure how far to run these lines, or how long to run the vineyards before we're going to need equipment to kind of turn out and dump their grape harvest. All right, lower cultivator V. Does this have power, or does this just run? It looks like this guy is just going to run. And As I understand it, it does take a little practice to get used to driving next to these vines. In fact, it might be better in first-person mode. Let's see how we're doing here. Now this vineyard is so large, and we could always add more, that we could, if we wanted to, skip all of the steps except for the harvesting and just accept a lower yield, because we're going to be busy doing lots of other work on this 16 times map. But early on, we'll see. Probably for this first harvest for sure, we'll do all the field work required. Oh man, it's slow. Let's take a look at the map and see if it's showing that that has been plowed. Map is loading. Boy, I can't see anything really. Map's loading again. Yeah, I think maybe it is. Yeah, it is. Let's do a little more of this. I'll time lapse some of it. Alright, that's one complete pass done. Now this tractor seems to struggle a little bit with this equipment. Let me take a look at the spec on the equipment again. The subsoiler. I'm curious what the horsepower. It says 65 horsepower is all that's required. And our little tractor has 112. I'm wondering if I grab a stronger tractor, maybe this Valtra, if it'll fit between the rows and go a little faster. Let's see where that guy is at. Oop, he's right there. Where are you? Right here. I'm gonna hop in this guy. This is another kind of the next smallest tractor I have. I'm gonna head up there and see if this guy will fit between the rows. Now I did put fat tires on this, so that's gonna decrease the odds, and it does look a little wide. Let's head up there and just out of curiosity see if this guy would have a better time pulling that subsoiler. I think it's going to be a little too fat, and it's probably those tires just put us over. Let's just see it, just a quick test. Well, he can drive through there. And it's not too bad. I'm not getting hung up. We'll see now once I pull something if it gets to be a problem. But I'm just curious if I can subsoil a little faster. Long term, like I said, I may just skip subsoiling and the mulching because this is such a huge vineyard. And boy, it's going to be time consuming, and I don't think we can run helpers on this. I'm curious. This guy's got about double the horsepower, I believe, of our little tiny tractor. We'll give this a try. Looks like I'm not having too much trouble. I'm having the occasional hang up on the vines, but not too bad. Barely fit through. I'm just curious if this guy can maintain 7 or 8 miles an hour pulling that subsoiler. Yeah, this guy's having no problems. Not dipping down into 5 miles an hour. It's staying right at 7. That's probably the top speed for the subsoiler. All right, I'm going to do a bit more of this. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we don't need to be hugging the vines with this thing. And definitely can't do 2 passes per row. That would take forever. Yeah, let me do a bit more of this. Check that out. I've actually got a helper running on this. And I don't think they're going to do much more than 1 row. But man, even having a helper do 1 row at a time, that would save me some time because I can go do other things. Now the wideness of this tractor is actually a plus. It kind of self-corrects. If it bumps into the side, it's never coming at it in such an angle that it doesn't automatically self-correct. For most of that row, I had my hands completely off the keyboard. So this might actually be workable. I have to kind of babysit it, especially if we use a helper. I think that helper is going to stop when it gets to the end of the row. It'll be interesting to see. Let me just tab over to our little small tractor and get it out of the way. Where are you? Wait, there it is. I'm curious to see what this helper is going to do once it gets to the end of the row. I think that's going to be the end of the helping, and we'll have to kick them off again. Man, even if I had to launch a helper every row for every row, it's still kind of workable. We'll have to see what the extra yield is. Ooh, is he tilted? Yeah, he is. He came back down. Let's take this little guy and see if that area got covered. That's the first time I've seen that. We may have missed a little bit. Yeah, we missed a tiny patch there where he kind of actually started climbing up the vines. You can see it there, the 3rd row in. But overall, it's doing a pretty good job without us having to babysit. Even if it misses a little, we'll still be better off than not doing the plowing. And then the next thing we're going to have to do is run a mulcher on this once we see some grass growing between the vines here. I think it's going to take a while. Let's see what happens when the helper gets to the end of the row. I think it's either going to crash or just stop. Be nice if it just stopped. Yep, helper has completed their task. That's not bad. I'm willing to accept that. I know it's not perfect. We could probably get really detailed with courseplay and find a way to do this. But man, I think that might be an exercise in frustration. I start out a little here and just hit the helper key. Boom. Off he goes. That row's done and I can move on to something else. I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay. So we have 2.5 million cash. One thing I really want to do is get into this stone business. So let's do that. We'll keep an eye on our little vineyards here. Not very little. It's actually huge. But I want to buy some land. So let's do it. It is up here. So we need this area up here. We need to buy the land for the stone mine. That's going to cost us 392,000. Let's do it. Pretty sure we're going to need it. Yep. And then I want to buy this plot, number 20. It has a stone processing facility, which I don't think we need to buy the land for that, but I want to put another factory here that's stone washing. So that's 68,000. Not bad. We'll buy it. And then let's go visit there. Map overview. Boom. Let's visit stone processing. Or in fact, before we do, since we're over here, let's see what stone processing gets us. Oh, we didn't buy it yet. We didn't buy it yet. Yeah, we need to go visit it first. We bought the land, not the business. So let's visit and let's buy this thing. Huge stone processing facility. We bought this land, and then we bought the land that has this huge stone deposit. Let's buy the business. Ooh, we might have to cut some trees down here. 155 for that. Boom. And let's see what we get. Or what the business is all about. This one. Okay, stone processing. We put in stones, which we mine locally. A bit of diesel, which we're producing kind of at the refinery, which is right near here. And some water. I think we may make this water ourselves in a water tower. That way I can get rid of some oxygen and hydrogen that we have right nearby this place at the refinery. And we're going to be able to produce limestone and get clean fill. Gypsum and get clean fill. And then calcium carbonate. 600 of each for each cycle. And these are 12,000 cycles a month. That's pretty good. And clean fill. This calcium carbonate is going to be important for soda. And I think for the slushies too. And those are two businesses I kind of want to get into. So this calcium carbonate is important, but all of them we're going to need 10 million liters of. So that's effectively what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new production lines right there. Let's take a quick look and see how our little helper's doing. Yeah, it's still working their way halfway through. Yeah, I want to put a wash plant here too. Let's see if we can work around the trees and do that. So if we go into construction, production, and way towards the end, I think, there it is, a wash plant. That's going to get us clean fill. I think that is silver ore, washed stone, and gold. Gold we're going to need to recruit people. This silver ore we can turn into silver bars at the mammoth mill and use that for recruiting people as well. And then these washed stones are actually worth quite a bit of money. That might be a revenue thing for us. Oh, this guy's tiny. I like it. I like it. I like it. In fact, we might want to put it sideways. Where do we want to put this? Put it over here even. Let's see. Yeah, we have a lot of room. Maybe we could fit a bigger business here. Maybe we should take advantage of this little tiny spot. All right, we can get a truck around that. Drop all our stuff off. Boom. Kind of like that. Let's see what that got us in terms of business. We kind of saw a little bit. There's a wash plant. There's only one kind of production line, but we get 4 products out of it. Yeah, silver ore, gold, clean fill, and wash stone. Inventory of 2 million. We can load this with 2 million stone and 2 million water. Okay, and then the last thing I want to put over here, we can get water for free. There is a water trigger. I think back that way, straight away, right where my circle is, there is a water tower right underneath it. But the refinery, which is way back there, has hydrogen and oxygen that have been selling. We have just a ton of that we need to get rid of. So I'm kind of thinking, since these businesses both take water and a fair amount of it, the stone processing and the wash plant, maybe I can get rid of some of that hydrogen and oxygen by turning it into water right nearby here. It'll be less carting that around in our truck, because man, that stuff is slow to haul. So I may spend a little more just for that benefit. Production, it's going to be this waterworks, but let me go for this one. Hydrogen, oxygen, we get water. It's 75 grand, but man, it saves so much time. I think this was going to end up saving me a lot of time. So let's do it. We could even put it right in the middle. Something like that. Boom. I like it. All right. Let's tab over to our helper. I think they're probably getting close to being done if they're not done already. Oh, struggling a bit. Back up. Let's see how I did. There's a couple bald spots here. Ooh, let's see. Not as impressive as the first little stretch. It's still better than doing it ourselves. Let's hit the helper button and see how this guy does. I wonder if even a slightly wider tractor would be even better. It'd self-correct a little better and not climb up the sides. It's definitely imperfect. Yeah, I think I'm gonna accept that just because of how much time that would take to do manually. So we'll let that guy run. Let's see if we can, yeah, let's get our wheel loader and see if we can load up some goodies over at the stone processing plant. In fact, we may want our tanker first. Yeah, let's get our tanker. I'm going to take hydrogen and oxygen, put it into the waterworks over there so we can start generating some water. And then we'll come back, get the low loader, and see about loading some stone in. We can load, I think, some diesel in both factories as well. The water we're going to produce from hydrogen and oxygen, so let's get that going first. All right, we're here at the refinery. Let's grab some hydrogen or oxygen. We'll see which one shows up first. Hydrogen will do. I've been selling this, but you'll see when I take off how slow the truck accelerates when we have a full load of this stuff. And so taking it back to the main farm for our 10 million liter objective or selling it off, man, these trips just take a long time. And because this factory I mentioned before produces the dye very slowly in small quantities, and we need a ton of it, as a result, we have got a bunch of extra hydrogen and oxygen that we need to get rid of somehow, otherwise the factory backs up. This might be a way to do it. That's why I invested in that water tower over there. We can make a slightly shorter trip, still slow. You can see I've been full throttle since we pulled away from the refinery, and it takes a while to come up to speed. But at least I can get rid of it, some of this stuff with a shorter trip here, and we'll make use of that water in both of these stone processing plants here. Might be good to have the stone processing near the train too. We might be able to make use of the train to haul these materials out of here. All right, there's our hydrogen going in. Let's again take a look at our helper. Looks like he's stopped. We'll get this water factory going, and then we'll go look at the helper, see if we can get them unstuck. All right, that's our little water factory filled with hydrogen and oxygen. We get a ton of water out of that. It's probably this guy right here. Every 500 hydrogen and oxygen, we get 5,000, right? So 10 times as much. So we just put in 100. That's going to get us 1 million liters of water, and it produces fairly quickly. Let's take one quick look at the helper out on the vineyard. Can I enter vehicle? Yeah, this guy stopped. He didn't do too bad before he stopped. I'll experiment with another tractor, maybe one of our New Hollands. I think if it was even a little tiny bit wider, it might even be less likely to jump. Otherwise, I can kind of just do this kind of half away from keyboard kind of thing and just monitor it while I'm doing other stuff. But I'm going to try to get this thing fully subsoiled. And then the fertilizing, we only have to do every other row. So that I think we can do manually, and hopefully it drives it quite a bit faster. We'll see. We'll experiment with it. If we need to use helpers and stuff or play around, we'll do some experimenting, see if we can make this work. Did I do a helper? No. There we go. Escape out. There he goes. He's going to try and probably get stuck again. Okay, let's get back to our tanker. This guy, we want to go get some fuel, and then maybe we'll get some local water from the other water trigger just to get these two new factories started, the wash plant and the stone processing. But first I'll grab some diesel. I think they both need 50,000, right? Let's double check that once I cross the tracks. Pretty sure. Look at production lines. Stone plant will take 50,000, and the stone processing will also take 50,000. So this guy holds 100,000. And I believe we have 100,000 sitting at the refinery, so we'll bring that over. Then there's that water trigger I mentioned over on the right. We'll grab a couple loads of water just to get things started. And then by the time the factories burn through that, we should be able to use the water that we're kind of making out of the hydrogen and oxygen, and we'll have tons. Guess we'll stop here at the wash plant first. Where might we drop this off? Back here, looks like. Okay, that guy's loaded. Now let's do our stone processing plant. Okay, next up is a load of water for each of them. Get on it. Yeah, that water trigger is not working. I'm not sure why that one's not working. Don't think we need to own the land because we've used one way out by where the grain mill is and stuff, and we don't own the land out there, and it worked. Could be a problem with the trigger. In that case, we may need to wait for our water to produce on its own in the water tower. I guess I can poke around the sides here, see if there's just something weird. Yeah, that water trigger does not seem to work. I'm not sure what the issue is. Bummer. I don't think we need to own this land. Just see how much it costs. $63,000. Let's buy it just in case. That's pretty cheap. See if that made any difference. Only need a couple loads of water, then we'll never need to use it again. Yeah, nope. Something just broken with that trigger. All right, that's a bit of a bummer. We'll just move on. Before we go, I'm going to grab crude oil and load up the refinery. We probably have some sitting in the oil rig here. We'll get that done while we're here. All right, I'm going to leave our little tanker trailer here, and then I'm going to go fetch our wheel loader so we can start mining some of this stone. right, let's get to mining some stone here. We'll see where we can place the truck, the trailer here. Eventually, as we dig that out, it's going to be a lot easier to find a good spot. That should do to get us started. Let's see how heavy these loads are. Hopefully not too bad. Oh, it looks like we're going to be fine. Yeah, that wheel loader's having no problems. Let's do a couple loads. All right, and there's a load of stone for stone processing facility. Let's get that loaded in. And let's take a look at the production lines again. Let's see. Our new water plant is not yet producing water. Do we need to turn that on? Activate. Yep, we got to turn that production line on. Looks like we're getting water pretty quick. Or at least the first little cycle ran pretty quick. Yeah, we might be able to put a tiny bit of water in. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Let's see. Wash stone. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 production lines. And then stone processing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 new production lines. 9 if we count the grapes. This episode, not too bad. We have a few, problems to work out with how we can automate the field work for the vineyard. I might be able to just manually record a course play course too. So I'll do some experimenting with that. Let's unhook and see if we can get some water into one of these new factories. And just see if we can verify that some of these production lines will kick on. Now the wash stone we saw a long time ago, several episodes ago, sells for quite a good price. So this could be a moneymaker for us. We'll grab whatever water's in here. hopefully to load better than the other water trigger. There we go. No problems here. Almost 30,000 liters. Let's put this into the wash plant. Verify that this guy's production line is turned on and running. Here we are at the wash plant. We've got the stones. We've got the water. We've got the diesel. And we should start getting these things once I hit activate. There we go. First wash stone and first clean fill. Gold, yeah, we'll get a little bit. And then this is silver ore. We're going to have to take that over to the Mammoth Mill. We'll see what we do if we transport the silver ore via the train. We might. Guessing we probably will. We'll see. We'll experiment and see what's the most efficient. Maybe I can grab a little more water and put it in the stone processing plant. Yeah, not bad. That produces pretty darn fast. 26,000 liters. Like I said, we're going to have tons of oxygen, tons of hydrogen. That tank will always be full. Pop some water in here. Take a look at this guy's production lines. Make sure everything's activated. These ones look like they activated automatically. Got the stones, got the diesel, got the water, and here come our 5 products out of here. That's awesome. Like I said, this calcium carbonate is one of the more important ones in this list. This is going to allow us to do slushies, get into that business. We have ice, we have fruit, and we now have calcium carbonate. I think that's all we need for slushies, and maybe the soda too. We can take a look at that real quick. Those 2 businesses. Go all the way to the end. Here's soda. Yeah, there's calcium carbonate. Grapes, which we're just now starting to grow. I think this is oranges for orange crush, and we have sugar. So we have fuel, water. Now we're going to have the calcium carbonate. We can get into the soda business. We need people for the Smuckers. Here's the slushy factory. Same thing. There's that calcium carbonate. It just scrolled off. Sugar, a bunch of stuff from our greenhouses. And calcium carbonate and ice. We have everything we need for that business too. So that's one we might be setting up pretty darn soon. We've got 1.7 million in the bank. So we'll spend some of that next episode. Yeah, not bad. We got a lot done. Let's go check our little worker here. Sure, he's stuck somewhere. Wherever he is. This poor guy. But yeah, we'll figure out a solution to this. It might be, like I said, I may have to do this once manually and record it as a manual courseplay course. But then once we have that, in theory, we'd be able to use it over and over again. For the mulching and for this subsoiling, we need, unfortunately, a second courseplay course for the fertilizing, because that only needs to happen every other row, and it would be twice as costly fertilizer-wise to do it every single row. So yeah, we got some work to do here, but this is cool. We need a ton of grapes. Looks like with this size vineyard, we're going to get a ton of grapes, and we can always build on this. I thought we were going to need the other plots of land. Whoops. The other plots of land here. Above field 22 and above field 24. Looks like we probably don't. If we want to expand to those areas, we're going to need many, many millions more. We want to put vineyards there. I'm still thinking south of 25 for Olive Grove, but we'll wait. We'll wait till we accumulate quite a bit more cash. Yeah, let's leave it here. Like I said, 9 new production lines. Happy to be in the stone business. I think that's going to make us some money. But man, there's a lot of stone to mine. We have a lot to do. Look at our poor worker here. Yeah, we'll have to come up with a better solution. But yeah, we'll leave it here for now. This is Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching. Thanks to those of you that are giving the videos a thumbs up. I appreciate that. If you have any suggestions or thoughts about this series or the channel in general, just let me know. Glad to hear it. I also have a parent channel just called Glidercat, where I feature kind of factory games and typically city builders, colony builders, that kind of thing. So if you're interested in that, you can just check that out at Glidercat on YouTube. And with that, I will see you in the next episode.